Recording.
All right, thanks for your time, y'all. You ever drove past a refinery chemical plant and saw those tall structures and wondered what they were or how they worked? Well, my dad was a welder, so for years as a kid, we'd drive past and we'd see these things up close, and we were always curious about it. And my dad explained that it was really technical and it was hard to understand, but after serving in the Marine Corps, I got out and I had the opportunity to work as a pipe fitters helper and work inside one of these refineries. Little that I know is the first step in my career in staying inside a chemical plant or refinery and learning exactly how it works, what it makes, what kind of problems you might see. Well, the guys that do the inspections on those structures are certified inspectors. They're certified through American Petroleum Institute. They're either certified with 510 for pressure vessels, which are the tall structures, 570 for the piping you might see along the road or inside the gates, or 653 for tanks. Now these are the basic certifications. These are just the core training that these guys have to go through in order to meet governmental regulations and learn what the problems take place. Now, the way that they find the problems is they do in-service and out-of-service inspections. Let's start with the in-service inspections. In-service inspections are mandated 5 years. So every 5 years, you have to document the inspection. But being inspectors and being nosy, it never works at a 5-year frequency. What they do is you'll do it day to day as a routine. You'll walk through the units, you'll work with the operators. Now, the operators are the guys that run the equipment. They're the ones that know it front to back. They know what it sounds like, they know what it smells of the unit, they know what the vibrations feel like on the structures. Sometimes these guys find problems. Now, they might find a pump that sounds like rocks blowing through the pipe, but they don't know what causes it. Or they might find a pump or a vibration somewhere in the system that's outside of normal. Well, these guys are called the inspectors. The inspectors will come out and work hand in hand with these guys to try and find the root cause of the problems, to see if there's any issues that have to be investigated during one of the in-service inspections. A great example is coolant water towers. One day we got a call that the coolant water tower had a funny smell to it, almost like old oil, and it was foam, like your laundry machine. Well, they inspect it, and it turns out that it was a hydrocarbon source when it was tested. So we made note, we tracked the system. Well, we went through and we did the regular in-service inspections, checked all the equipment, checked for leaks, checked other items. We couldn't find anything. So a note was made alongside the equipment for that one system for when we did an out-of-service inspection going through the towers and the heat exchangers. Now, the out-of-service inspection is where it really gets interesting for the mechanical guys. Imagine somebody my size getting an 18 or 20-inch hole. In order to do the out-of-service inspections, you have to climb in the vessels, tower to tower, heat exchangers, or other pressure vessels. So let's start off with towers. You come in a small opening at the bottom of the tower, and you climb it from that 20-inch manway at the bottom all the way up that 100 feet to the top, level by level, taking pictures and making notes. Well, on this one tower, within the train that we had the coolant water system problem, we found a valve missing. Took note of it, climbed down to the other side. Well, the problem is that one valve wouldn't have caused that problem because it's still within the pipe or within the vessel. Went down the system. The next piece of equipment was a heat exchanger. Now, the heat exchanger is simple. There's about 20 different types. And this one happened to be one of the easiest types. It had a cover, a containment called a channel, a tube sheet which came out and it looked like a radiator on your car, and then a shell, which the tube sheet fit in. Well, when we pulled the cover off the first heat exchanger after the tower, there it was. That one valve that was missing had worked its way through the system, had rubbed on the face of the exchanger, and made a leak. Turns out that was the problem. Now, backtracking it, we knew about that same problem 3 weeks beforehand that it was going to be in that systems. So we were able to minimize the expense of making a repair. Now, it sounds simple as far as doing the inspections. Well, the inspectors are certified through American Petroleum Institute, National Board, American Welding Society, and they're required to be certified across the board in various disciplines, and it maintains continuing education. Because some of the equipment isn't accessible. Sometimes you have smaller diameter openings, and you have to use advanced technology. That's where the continuing education comes in. Now, you've read historically about problems that have taken place in older refineries that were built. The last one was built in 1977. But historically, the inspections weren't done when they were first established in 1977. At least not the way they are done now. The certification program was kicked off in the early 90s. Ever since then, inspectors have been required to be certified. They have to understand the equipment mechanically. They have to be able to communicate with other people within the refineries to solve the problems. In conclusion, the inspectors are just a key component. They're not the whole piece of the puzzle. These are the guys that just try and find the problems day in and day out and work with the operators to maintain the equipment to keep the refineries and the chemical plants running safe. Thanks for your time.